In today's video, I'm reviewing the Iranian F-14 recently added to Warthunder in the Persian Tomcat event. Because this is a modified version of a jet that we already have in game, I'm going to structure this review a bit differently, starting with a bit of history around the jet, the new ordnance added to it, the version that we could have got, and then finally how the jet performs as a whole. Starting with the history of this version of the F-14, Iran and the US used to be on really good terms. After a visit by former President Nixon in 1972, the Shah of Iran was offered the ability to buy F-14s from the US. This started Project Persian King, worth nearly $1 billion, including 80 Tomcats and over 700 Phoenix missiles. The first F-14s arrived in Iran in 1976. By the time of the Iranian Revolution in 1979, 79 of the 80 ordered F-14s were delivered to Iran. They were very quickly brought into service, where they would see their first combat just a year later in the Iran-Iraq War, where they would perform very well. Using the F-14, Iranian pilot Jalil Zandi is credited with 11 aerial victories during the war, making him the most successful F-14 pilot in history. After the Revolution of '79, the US stopped supplying Iran with military equipment, leading to the slow decline in operational F-14s in Iran over the years. This cutoff was so severe that in 2006, when the US retired its last F-14s, all of the F-14s in the US were destroyed so that Iran could not get more parts to extend the lifespan of their F-14s. Iran still operates the F-14 to this day, although it appears to mostly be used in an AWACS role now, and they keep hidden how many F-14s they still have operational, but estimates put the number anywhere from as low as 12 to as high as 40 still in service. The Iranian F-14 that we get in Warthunder has 3 new pieces of Iranian-specific ordnance. The first is the Fakor 90 Fox 3 air-to-air missile. This missile is a combination of the AIM-54A Phoenix and the MIM-23 Hawk SAM. In practical terms, this is a Phoenix that goes much faster. It's actually one of the fastest missiles in the game. The second new piece of ordnance is the Segel. The Segel is simply a Fakor 90 that's been converted from a Fox 3 missile to a regular old radar missile that requires a lock for the entire duration of flight. The final new piece of Iranian ordnance is the Yasser rocket. I think that this is the biggest rocket that we have in the game at 760 kilograms. It has over 200 kilograms of TNT explosive power, and it's almost entirely useless against MBTs. The Yasser is so bad that it can't even take out the mid-tier tank in the test drive arena unless you hit it with a direct strike. All I can say is that my disappointment is immeasurable. Besides the 3 new pieces of Iranian ordnance, this Iranian F-14 has one other surprise. That is the inclusion of the R-27R radar missile, normally only found on Russian jets. This almost wasn't the only Russian missile that we got on the jet though. The F-14 that we have in game is number 3-6020. Iran used F-14 number 3-6041 as a testbed, and at one point it was fitted with R-73s. So the F-14 that we got could have been so much more powerful. As an aside, the reason why Iran didn't put R-73s on all of their F-14s is because they didn't have enough to use them on both their Su-27s and their F-14s. In my time testing the Iranian F-14, I used a loadout of 2 AIM-9Ps, 2 R-27Rs, and 4 Fakor 90s. Given that I haven't used an F-14 in a long time, and all of the sweats are out grinding the event, this jet performed about as I expected with a 1 KD and a 45% win rate across 35 matches. Personally, I think that the Iranian F-14 is a little better than the regular tech tree F-14A, but not as good as the F-14B. If you've flown the F-14 before, you'll feel right at home in this jet. If you haven't played high-tier jets before and you're grinding this event out for the F-14, it's going to take you a little bit to get used to how it plays. I saw another creator speculate that this F-14 could go for over 100 Gaijin coin on the market because of how good it is. And I just don't think that it's that level of good. I do hope that it sells well on the market because we haven't had an event vehicle go for much since the Object 292, and this is a jet that people have been asking for a while. This is getting a little off topic, so let's wrap this video up. The Iranian F-14 is good. I'd put it between the F-14A and F-14B. The Iranian Ordnance editions are cool, but 2 out of 3 of them are kind of useless. Personally, I'd keep the jet, but I already own all the planes in the US tech tree, so I don't really need it. I hope you all have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next one.